£2,700. That's how much you are worse off by because of fiscal drag. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a controversial topic, fiscal drag. But what is it? Effectively speaking, it's a stealth tax. It's a cheap and easy way for the government to raise more taxes without doing anything and without you even knowing it's happening. To demonstrate this, I've set up 3 different calculations across different years showing you how fiscal drag is working. So over here on the far side, we have 2020. In 2020, the tax-free personal allowance, £12,570, meaning the first 12.5k is not taxed at all. And you guessed it. In 2025, the tax-free personal allowance is still £12,570. So what does this mean? If we look at the tax bill over in 2020, you're a basic rate taxpayer. At £50,000, you haven't quite crept up into the 40% band just yet. So at £50,000, we take off the tax-free personal allowance. That means that £37,500 is taxed at 20%, meaning your tax bill is £7,500. Now really, what should be happening, at least every couple of years, is the tax rates in the tax-free personal allowance are being increased at least a little bit in line with inflation. But what's happened over the last few years is that the government has chosen to freeze the rate bands in the personal allowance. And it's something that they're speaking about potentially doing again in the autumn budget. So what happens? Effectively, let's talk about this person now who back in 2020 was earning £50,000. It stands to reason that with inflation and regular pay rises in that same job, this person is now earning £60,000. And what we effectively mean is that to some degree, that £60,000 is kind of equivalent to the £50,000 that they were earning in 2020 because they can buy less for it. So if we run it through the calculation again now, £60,000 less your tax-free personal allowance, which hasn't moved, means you have £47,430 of taxable income. What's happened here though is key. You've been sucked into the higher rate band of 40%, meaning that a good chunk of your income now is being taxed at that higher rate. So the first £37,700 is still taxed at 20%, and here's your £7,500 that we see in 2020 as well. But now you have around £9,700 that's taxed at 40%, which means that your tax bill is £11,400. Makes sense because your income's gone up, but the rate bands haven't gone up with inflation. So let's talk about a scenario where the rate bands have at least a little bit been increased to align with inflation. Now, based on a very quick bit of research we did before this video, we estimate that the tax-free personal allowance, had it been adjusted for inflation, should be somewhere in the region of £16,500, meaning you don't pay tax on this £16,500. The basic rate band going up for inflation, believe it or not, should be probably somewhere in the region of £55,000 or £60,000, meaning that until you're earning more than around 60k, you shouldn't be, if we're talking about inflation, you shouldn't be paying tax at a rate of 40%. So, had the rate bands gone up with inflation, your tax bill would be £8,700. You would still be a basic rate taxpayer, and the difference between the £8,700 and the £11,400 under the actual current rate is this £2,700. So arguably, because the government has frozen the tax rates, frozen the personal allowance, continues to do so, means that arguably you're £2,700 worse off. And this is how you're £2,700 worse off because of fiscal drag. Are the government going to keep using this stealth tax to bring ordinary people into higher tax brackets? Follow along and keep up to date with our content to find out more.